So I am planning on getting my license eventually, and I just want to talk about this new executive order. That's what the video's about. But I'm planning on getting my license so I can eventually get a car. And to be honest with you, I know what kind of car I want. And the thing is, this executive order is so bullshit. Like, no joke. This executive order Trump did because he's, an idiot. He's an imbecile. An imbecile. Trump is an imbecile, people. So basically, he is criminalizing homelessness. Now, there's some parts of that I'm not gonna say I agree with it 100%, but I can understand. Like, people living out in the streets can be kind of a problem if they're all like sleeping on the sidewalk or sleeping on public property. Sometimes, I mean, public property. I mean, it's public; anyone can be there. But apparently, they have a problem with people sleeping out on the sidewalk or sleeping out near a store or whatever. Not in Maine. I think Governor Mills understands that people in Maine obviously aren't gonna be, aren't gonna be able to afford. Some people aren't gonna be able to afford to live, and but anyway, point being, Trump is it's not really necessarily like I can kind of see where he's coming from. Not 100% because he's a fucking idiot. Because he doesn't understand. Because he's had a rich golden spoon throughout his entire life, you know, and he didn't have to work for any of his wealth. He just gained it from his father because his father was like, "Oh, you're my son. I'm gonna give you my wealth." Wow, 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 wow. Trump doesn't understand because he's a fucking idiot. But he doesn't know what it was like to work hard and still barely be able to survive. But anyway, point being, now he's trying to make it legal for you to sleep in your car. That's right. If you sleep in your car, your vehicle, your van, your sedan, your SUV, your RV. I'm sorry, but apparently, according to Mr. Donald J. Trump, worst president of the United States, the guy who will go down in history as the most bigoted, racist, sexist, pedophile president of all time. I'm just letting you know, guys. He apparently thinks you do not deserve to exist. You do not deserve to exist. Do not deserve to sleep in your car. You deserve to be jailed and criminalized and sent to concentration camps and possibly killed. Possibly killed. Or even deported. He wants to deport you guys, probably too. I mean, he wants you gone. If you're sleeping in your vehicle that you paid for or that you pay for. You should be not sleeping in your vehicle. You should be sleeping in an apartment. If you can't do that, well, then you don't deserve to live. I hate this guy. I really do. I hate this guy. I really wish he would just fuck off. Just leave. If you don't like things here, just fucking leave. This country is not the greatest country on earth. It's just you're just criminalizing being like everything. You're just criminalizing everything. You might as well tell me it's illegal to live in an apartment next. You need to buy a house. If you don't buy a house, then you're being jailed and criminalized. Literally, that's what you should say. Ridiculous, ridiculous. But listen, guys. Trump is a problem. He is. I think he's an imbecile. I think he's one of those people who's probably a pedophile. I mean, we've talked about the Epstein files. He was on the Epstein files. Pam Bondi told him. She was like, "Yeah, sir, you're on the Epstein. You're on the Epstein list." Of course, she did. She's covering for him. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so apparently, I see people sleep in their cars around here all the time. People are sleeping in their cars here. People are, and they're not causing a scene. They're not being bothersome. They're not like doing stupid shit. They're not like they're actually just sleeping or what have you. They're sleeping, And I've seen people around here sleep in their cars because one person actually I know was living in their car because he had a lot of stuff in his car, and I was just like, "Yep, he definitely lives in that car." But I don't have a problem with it. You think I'm gonna fucking sit there and freaking call the police and be like, "Is there someone sleeping in their car?" Fuck no, fuck no. I understand it's hard out there. I understand it's difficult in the world. Some people aren't able to friggin' pay rent or whatever because rent is too high. Rent is too high in this area. To be honest with you, I would move to Sanford, or I would move to Lewiston or whatever. But even Lewiston's a little more dangerous place. Probably Sanford would be better for me. But my point being here, guys, is you should not have to freaking like be jailed. You should not be jailed or criminalized for sleeping in your car, your property. As far as I'm concerned, if someone's sleeping in their car, they're allowed to do that because it's their property. I don't care. Like, of course, parking bans. Okay, fine. 2 hour parking bans. You can't park for more than 2 hours. That's fine. They can just move along. They have a vehicle. They can just move along to a different area or a area a little bit further away that doesn't have a parking ban. But a lot of these states, like California, doing the parking ban shit, fuck that. Why are they doing a parking ban? And trust me, I want to live in California, but I can't even afford the rent in California. To be honest with you, it's ridiculous. But why should they be criminalized for the rent rates in California? It's ridiculous that you even have to. It's ridiculous that you should even freaking that your rent rates are ridiculous in every other state. You know, Texas is no different. In Texas, I looked in El Paso, Texas, for an apartment. Those apartments were between 900 and $1,000 for a one bedroom. And I was just looking at it, and I was like, "How much are they getting paid there in El Paso, Texas?" I would love to know. I looked it up, and they ain't getting paid shit. They ain't getting paid shit in El Paso, Texas. They're getting paid maybe $9 an hour, maybe 10, depending on the job. They're not getting paid shit. So why in the fuck are these rent prices so high for the rate of pay that you're getting paid? Why? It's because property management companies don't care about you. They care about the almighty dollar. Do they assume that every person in the fucking U.S. has a partner or someone who split the bills with them to make it more affordable for them? That's ridiculous. Boy, there are more single people now than there ever was before. I can't live in my car. Fucking it. Well, I can in Maine, but I would never like be live. I would never live in downtown Portland in my car. That's just ridiculous. I can't do it. I can't do it. I would rather live in the boonies. I'd rather like I'd rather live in the boonies in my car. But sometimes even that's dangerous. So I don't fucking know. Where are you supposed to live? I mean, this area is actually pretty chill. There's not a lot of crime that goes on here in Nightville. You know, not a lot of crime that happens in Nightville. So it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Trump's an imbecile, and if you agree with him, you are too.